A golden dragon!
New season's here, the new season's here, sunshine is here, and it's the season of the Draconate, everybody!
Not all dragons crave gold, but I do.
This is Orpheus, the dude you come to when you would like to hear some updates on the latest fashion trends in Gwent. Yeah, as you can see, I dropped back to rank 3, actually managed to climb back to rank 2 at least, because as you all probably know, unless you finish in the top 500 players in the world in pro rank, you drop back to rank 3. And man, it was close! I was behind for like 60 MMR I think, so like 9 or 10 wins away. But I don't want to waste your time on my personal issues at the moment. You know, can we do this again? Let's take a brief look at the new patch. Now, as expected, the new season along with the new patch 7.1 brought a lot of changes to the game. I don't want to bore you with every single detail. Let's just take a quick look at the most drastic ones. Yeah, second wind Skellige is one of those, as the leader's ability will from now on revive only units with the maximum provision cost of 9. Now, the issue I personally have with this one is that, like I already discussed with you guys, the problem is not second wind. Honestly, second wind had remained untouched for a pretty long time and nobody complained about it. And the Master Mirror gold card additions to the Greatsword decks, Harald and Blood Eagle usually, did not change the Greatsword decks that much, even though, yeah, they certainly did help them. The problem with those decks is mostly Morkvarg and his synergies with Dagur and Greatswords, so I would prefer to see something being done with this card rather than seeing Second Wind to be butchered every patch. Because Second Wind can be played in so many ways. Morkvarg, on the other hand, can be played in pretty much only one way. Second Wind is the crown ability of Skellige. Imagine nerfing Imperial Formation or something. That brings me to the second most visible aspect of this patch, and that is Scoia'tael and most notably Nilfgaard were largely untouched by the changes. And while I expected some changes at least to the way how disloyal spying units work and their synergies, Nilfgaard remained absolutely the same except for a minor Impera Brigade and Fire Scorpions buffs. Yep, buffs. This thing becomes kinda more apparent when you learn about the fact that Northern Realms has been nerfed. Yeah, the Northern Realms I think I lost about 5 or 6 ranked games to in the entire previous season. You know, Visegerd has been a must-have addition to a lot of NR decks out there, especially the uprising ones, and so he's been nerfed. He can no longer use his charges on the same turn he is played unless he's being modified by Ildico or something, because Visegerd's formation modifier has been removed. Also nerfs to Queen Delia, etc. Also a lot of monster changes. Carantir Ethereal combo is done for. I don't feel like there's enough space to discuss all of the changes now, I'll probably get to them later. Let's just say the point of the patch is quite clear. CDPR wants to eliminate the most played cards and combos and promote some of the cards that do not see a lot of play. And that's good. At least the point behind these changes, I think, is supposed to move the game in a more favorable direction, where more decks and more styles of play are viable. But if that's the case, why would they nerf Second Wind again and not Morkvarg? Why would pretty much all most played synergies in the last patch be nerfed while Nilfgaard remains untouched? In my experience, Nilfgaard was played at least as much as Skellige in the last patch, so I don't know, a lot of mysteries about this one. It may take some time before the new meta settles, and I think we'll keep on seeing a lot of Nilfgaards in this one. Anyway, please let me know in the comments if these seasonal changes suit your style, or if you don't like them, or if you even hate them. or if you feel like there's something missing from them, let the discussion begin! For now, let's concentrate on today's deck. With the start of every new season, I kinda have this compulsion to create a new Syndicate deck. Or revive an old one, and this season was no exception. I was even more excited about it when I heard that Hidden Cache ability is getting buffed after several months in retirement. Now please bear in mind the meta is still very unstable, and creating decks at the start of a new season, especially one that brought a lot of changes to the game, is one of the most challenging tasks. But so far I'm having a good time with this one. Its difference to some of those Hidden Cache decks that used to be played several months ago lies in Bincy Blummerholt. She a good kid, don't go too hard on her, and while Bincy has seen most of her play paired with Jackpot ability and Siggy Reuven, you know, Dijkstra, I found she is more than alright even in this composition. For some, the absence of the flying Redanian may seem shocking, but I just learned I don't have that many uses for a card like that with a deck like this. The strategy might not be an absolute no-brainer because you'd want to learn when to commit and when to fold them, but basically it might be a good idea in most case scenarios to push your limits in the first round, because if you win it, you can bleed the shit out of your opponent in the second round with Passiflora. You can actually end the game in 2 rounds if the stars shine in your favor. So don't be afraid to overcommit in the first round, it may pay off later on. Azar Javed in this deck works mostly as the shield for your engines, Bincy, Slice Seductresses, Sea Jackals and so on, but like I said, the meta is still unstable. Nobody knows what exactly may wait around the corner. So I can't really predict if this deck is gonna stay nice and strong for the whole season. In my experience, it yields higher win rate, at least for me, than those Syndicate Congregation decks I've seen. And like I already told you, I've climbed with it from rank 3 to rank 2 in just 6 games I think. Also, with a deck like this, don't be afraid to add some engines that you're familiar with and you can find in this one. It's pretty versatile and you can make adjustments quite easily without everything falling apart. It's time. Oh, already? I'm not prepared. You will face the strongest players out there and you will win. But my deck is not prepared! Silence! Into the battle, you march! And our opponent for... Yes! That's actually perfect.
Make sure of that.
Let's see if my deck, my Hidden Cache deck, is stronger than those Congregation decks. I've already beaten 2 of them, but let's prove it to you on a record. So, what do we have here? Yes, Bincy Blummerholt on my hand. He's playing Dijkstra also. That's cool. And he already got 4 coins. Off to a head start. He's playing Sir Skewertooth, one of the finest swines in Novigrad. So let's just start slowly here with some kids playing on the street, or actually stealing from that carriage. Yeah, he's playing many crime cards, or at least some, and intimidate cards. Obviously Halfling Safecracker has been reworked in this last patch. He now has like the ability to boost himself up for every crime card that you do have in hand. So it kinda works like Venendal Elite for Nilfgaard with tactic cards. What? He already had some bloody good fun. So let's just go with Sly Seductress here. Or should I give her a shield? Nah. Yeah, I maybe should have, but then again, it's kinda sad I don't have Soul Neverred in my hand. Well, that was a wheel of misfortune.
But this'll be damned impressive.
Really? Then I'm looking forward to it, mate.
It's been a long, hard road, hasn't it?
I have only one blind eye in my hand now, but there are 1, 2, 3 in my deck. Okay. I would kinda like to keep on going here, but this hand of cards I feel like we're gonna need them. Okay, let's pass. I hope I won't regret this. Alright, 2 blind eyes in my hand. This is actually quite alright. So he is gonna try to bleed me. That's nice.
Stand no weaklings, I see no role in it for you. Bad spells, my specialty. Allow me to show you.
I feel like we are going Passiflora in... Okay. I didn't see this coming. Alright.
Is that supposed to go?
So it's 9-9 in terms of cards going into the last round, the third one. And I still have Passiflora, I still have most of my engines. And here comes Philippa, here comes... I'm only missing 1 blind eye, so that I can proc the Chapter 2 of the Passiflora scenario. I think this is perfect.
The Order will rule the land from this day forward.
Fallen Knights, here they come. Where is Ulrich?
I'll harm a hair of the wench's head.
He's not playing Ulrich. It's kinda good.
Sleep, my champion. Rest now.
Yeah. Could have expected Bomb Beaver.
Why bother with the door when the window's open?
On Aeromancy and Horsan Senior. Yeah, he's playing the pretty much the same deck
This'll all be
I've seen being used so far in the last couple of hours.
effectively planned the whole damn gear.
But both of the Karap lackeys are already in the graveyard.
Can he cut cleanly when you squirming about like that?
Novigradian Justice with Ferko the
It'll
Sculptor,
be personal.
and he still keep on going with his original plan, playing crime cards with lots of intimidates on the board.
Goodwin keeps a single lover in every pot. Call me Miss Novigrad.
Bincy is already worth 13 points, but unless he will have like some hard remove,
Just
he will have a hard time keeping up with her. He's destroying Ewald. Yeah, and he's 9 points ahead. Interesting. So, I think I'm going with Adriano.
Exploitation.
nothing tickles my tits quite like a good secret.
Nothing tickles my tits quite like a good secret.
An austere life is a virtuous life.
The question is, I think we don't even need to. Let's go with Sea Jekyll.
If the ring won't come out, just take the whole finger.
Bincy on 24 points and counting. Here comes Jack the Aldersberg. He's been buffed a little
The time
with the ability that he can in his final level of evolvement, which did not happen this time because he does not have devotion in his deck. He can gain wine coin and he can boost himself with it, so a little more menu variability with Jacques. And I think
Mine own eyes.
we are on the right track here, boys. Procession of Penance, I don't think it's gonna be enough. And here we come
I've no mercy
with
for your kind.
Horsan Senior on my side, and I think that's pretty much it. And we are almost 30 points ahead.
Alone shall you wander until the end of days.
I think even Harald Gord won't save him now, and even though he may seem to have an upper hand earlier on in this game, we've managed to win by 17 points. 99, that's nice. Alright, let's play one more. Wait, I already did that, but the game didn't record itself.
See me smiling.
I really need to get better equipment here. And we're playing Mobilization Northern Realms. It's gonna be interesting. Well, maybe not so much, because my draw is absolutely terrible. I think our strategy here, the best approach, would be
How many sweet rolls could I get for a dime?
to make him, you know, pass the first round as quickly as possible, and then play Passiflora in the second round.
I've no interest in politics.
Music marries cultures, connects folk to one another.
I don't even have Lieutenant Fornhurst. Good lord.
May your blade never dull. May your hand never waver.
You'll need Fawn Z6 CV1265X for that.
Boiling oil on a tax collector. He's just a, you know, side addition to my deck. Anyways, let's go with one of the sliced actresses here.
Some light reading.
Cintrian Spellweaver. Don't tell me he's playing like a mage's deck. That's pretty much obsolete now, but then again, why not, I'd say.
It's been a long, hard road, hasn't it?
Mankind is a virus.
Doregarai, no kidding. And wait a minute, he did try to lock my sliced actress. Well, he forgot I put a whale on it.
They belong to me, and me alone.
If he passes now, this might be one of those games I'll be able to finish it in 2 rounds. Of course, God willing, because there's really not many bad cards we can draw still. He's passing. It's nice. Cintrian Spellweaver, if any of you remember the deck, we've played like, it's been 2 months I think. This is nice. I think I can work with it. Except we don't have Azar. You know, let's do this.
Nothing tickles my tits quite like a good secret.
What did he commit? 1 7, 2 7s, and 2 5s. Yep.
I'll consider this night.
That was the last of your boiling oils. Battering ram. Interesting.
Quartermaster of the Order, at your service. You, yes, you! Have you made your offering?
I think I can go with Bincy next.
Why bother with the door when the window's open?
Remove his cowl, then his ears!
Is he playing like a siege? I don't know here. Let's go with Adriano.
Exploitation. Try it out.
Sleep, my champion. Rest now.
Sword of the Order! Flaming Rose! By denying penance, you confirm your guilt!
Yeah, here comes the siege. But we are 30 points ahead. It's gonna be interesting.
I only loot corpses, except sometimes they're quite fresh. You, yes, you! Have you made your offering?
33 points ahead, but of course here comes, yep, the bombardment. It kind of didn't hurt as much as I thought it would.
Are all lessons from Skellige so awe-inspiring?
That one! He venerates not the fire!
"30 points ahead. But his leader's charge is now already used. Oh, good lord. Igni? Really?
Not your lucky day.
Indeed it wasn't. My lucky day.
Careful. I heard the Ethereal read minds.
Shove those arrows up your ass!
Another bombardment.
You are worthy neither of mercy nor forgiveness.
Will this be enough?
I am here to lend a helping hand.
It was so close. 1 point. 1 friggin' point. Good lord. Now it's gonna be a lottery pretty much. But this draw is kinda nice. I'm missing only Roderick the Wet from my gold cards. Tris telekinesis. projectile rating?
Strong magic.
Really? So he's just wasting bombardment. That's nice. I'm gonna withhold it so that I can use a little more powerful Philippa if he offers me like a suitable target. Avalach. It's really interesting.
In your dream.
Spent perfecting this plan a whole damned year.
Yeah, he's passing, so he
You'll suffer the consequences of your foolishness.
kind of forfeited the game, and we won. 13 points to know in the last turn. Thank you for the game, bro. And as you can see, guys, this deck I am offering to you today is absolutely viable, and I would like to hear your opinions on it. So please do let me know in the comments. I'm starting to love this deck more and more, and I kinda start to remember why the hidden cache ability has been nerfed to the ground several patches ago. Anyways, thank you all guys very much for watching. Please subscribe if you did like what you saw, unless you have subscribed already. Thank you all again guys, and once again, this was 0rfeus, and I'll catch you all on the flip side. Bye bye!